Do you want to grow amazing vegetables but feel like your soil is too compacted and you don't want to use heavy machinery to till it all up? My name is Moreno from The Dutch Farmer, helping you transition from your 9-to-5 to farm life. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can decompact and build your soil with a very simple tool, a Broadfork. I'm going to show you how to use the Broadfork, why and when you should use one, and the reason that we stopped using ours. The Broadfork is actually a super basic but amazing tool that you can use at the initial establishment of your garden beds. Due to the length of the tines and in combination with the right usage, you're able to build deep and healthy soils pretty rapidly, creating the perfect environment for your vegetables. But let's get started with the Broadfork itself. What is it and what does it do? At its core, the Broadfork is a simple yet powerful tool that is able to efficiently loosen the subsoil without turning it upside down, which would create a lot of damage to the soil structure like the more traditional tillage machines do. If used in the right way, the Broadfork is able to disturb the soil the least as possible, but is still able to break up any compaction in the soil. And that is what we are really trying to do and achieve here. We want to keep the microbiology and soil life as intact as possible, and at the same time improve the quality of the soil by slightly breaking up any compaction, allowing for water and oxygen to reach into the deeper layers, which will provide for more habitat and better conditions for these microorganisms to thrive. If we observe nature closely, we can see that the way soil is built is from the top. Organic matter in the form of branches, leaves and animal droppings fall onto the surface of the soil. This organic matter will rot and decay with the aid of bacteria and fungi, whilst beetles, earthworms and other organisms take this material down into the soil with them. This is constantly creating a new layer of humus and organic matter on the soil surface, ultimately improving the soil and constantly recycling nutrients from one form to another to make it available again for the overall system. That's why forests are the most fertile and abundant ecosystems on the planet without needing any human interference or applications of nutrients, herbicides, pesticides and fungicides. Coming back to the Broadfork and its functionality and use in the market garden, we can use this tool to speed up the process of soil building, but instead of building it from the top like we see in nature, we build it from the bottom. And I know this might sound weird, but it actually makes a lot of sense. By slightly decompacting the subsoil, we allow for water and oxygen to penetrate into the deeper levels of the soil, providing resources and habitat to create favorable aerobic conditions for the good guys in the soil. Essentially, by creating these favorable aerobic conditions, we are improving the circumstances, and in return, the soil organisms will do what they do best, and that is building healthy soil. With the soils decompacted, we can allow for a proliferation of soil life. It will be easier for plant roots to penetrate into the deeper layers. There will be better water drainage, and with the increased soil biology, ultimately also better water and nutrient holding capacity as well as nutrient cycling. And that's why a Broadfork, a simple yet effective tool, can be very helpful with the initial establishment of your growing beds, with an emphasis on the initial establishment. Because although it is a great tool to go from compaction to decompaction, the Broadfork should be seen as a transitioning tool to make that transition from your soil's current state into a healthy and vibrant soil that is able to take care of its own needs. Going back to the forest example, whenever I take a stroll with my family through the forest, I never see anyone walking around with a Broadfork, which is quite fortunately, because that would be pretty weird and also probably a bit scary. But what I want to say is that due to the constant use of heavy machinery, foot traffic and not allowing nature to express itself in growing perennial systems, we are oftentimes dealing with a lot of compaction in our soils. As soon as that compaction is lifted, we can let nature run its course. We don't have to constantly intervene. After only 2 seasons on this specific site, and in combination with large amounts of organic matter inputs, we don't use a Broadfork at all anymore. I've done tests growing the same exact crop at the same time, one bed Broadfork and one without, and the one without performed overall better. Now obviously this isn't scientifically proven, but my guess is that once you've relieved that compaction, we can let the soil food web take care of the ongoing maintenance of the system. The only thing we personally continue to do on our farm in terms of soil building is the continuous inputs of compost on the beds and wood chips in the pathways, on which the high energy and nutrient output market garden really depends on. Anyways, enough with the technicalities on the why, let's get into the how. When using a Broadfork, it is important to use it in the right way so you minimize the disturbance of the soil food web as much as possible. One of the things to look out for is foot traffic on the beds. When we use the Broadfork, we start at one side of the bed and work with our back towards the other side. Whilst doing that, we always keep our feet on the pathways and never on the beds themselves. This will allow for minimal compaction. If for some reason this way of working is not easy for you, another solution would be to work from the sides of the pathways. You can simply stand on your pathway and use the Broadfork in the opposite direction. You'll still be getting the same results, but it might be easier for you to move around without standing on the beds themselves. Going to the actual usage, I start by standing with both my feet in the pathways. I place the Broadfork on the bed, use one foot to push it a bit in the soil so it has some stability. Then I go with both feet on it and use my body weight to completely push it into the soil. Moving a little bit back and forth at this point will allow you to go in all the way. Then I place both my feet back in the pathways and gently pull on the bars. Do this until you see a slight break in the surface of the soil. This is a sign that the Broadfork has broken up some of the compaction. If I was to continue and keep pulling on the bars, I would inevitably break up the entire soil structure and mix the different soil layers with each other. This is going to be the same as a traditional tiller, maybe not as harmful as a tilling machine, since we're not literally grinding everything together and compacting the subsoil, but it is still going to be too much damage to the soil food web, and in particular the fungal networks in the soil. Just give it a bit of a wiggle until you see some cracking happening. After that, take out the Broadfork, pull it gently back to the length of the tines, insert it in the soil, step on it, wiggle it if needed, gently pull it back until the soil cracks a bit and move your way down the bed. One thing I want to emphasize is that when you do this work, let the tool and your body weight do the heavy lifting for you. You don't have to use brute force or be all chaotic about it. Simply drag the Broadfork over your bed to where it's needed, step on it, make sure it's equally in the ground, use your body weight, pull it gently back and continue. In some cases it might be possible you're going to hit a rock or in my case tree roots. You'll very quickly notice this as you won't be able to drive the Broadfork into the soil. In that case, if it is a rock, you can decide to take it out or you simply move the Broadfork a bit up or further down the bed. At a certain point in time you will notice that the Broadfork will very easily penetrate into your beds, and the work is nothing compared to using it for the first time. At that moment it is safe to say that you do not need to use it anymore and you can remove this step of the bed preparation, essentially allowing you to reduce your workload and thus optimizing your production in terms of profitability. Anywhere you can reduce and remove steps, you will increase the efficiency and profitability of your operation. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel right now. Also, for more information on market gardening, head over to thedutchfarmer.com. And as last, let me know in the comment section below, what was your biggest takeaway from this video? I'm looking forward to your comments. Have a nice day and see you next time.